side of our hand, or are we going to use a water stream? And what are we looking for? Steam, right? Is it a long flow of water, or is it just a couple quick bursts? Just a burst, 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 right? That's what you should be doing with your hose stream. Just open, close, open, close. So we are in the decay stage. Now I'm going to try, what's our temp reading? I will try to see if we can have that backdraft look. All right, backdraft is a oxygen deprived environment. All it needs is oxygen, has heat, has fuel. It's just lacking that last leg to create the chemical reaction, right? Did you see the pressure that was coming out of that door? It literally vibrates. Copeland is not lying. All right, so backdraft, right? High heat, fuel, limited oxygen. I'll recreate. Now imagine that in a 12 by 12 room, 12 by 16 room. The force that has. That's why it shatters windows, blows people out into the street, compromises the building construction. Very violent. Right?
First, you can turn the light on, alright?
All right. So would you say that our box or the compartment, the bedroom, is hot? If I can make this thing backdraft, it is hot. Alright? But with a little bit of water, I will prevent it from doing that. I will start from the exterior. Doors have cracks at the bottom, right? Cracks around the top. So if the fire's pulling in air, what else can it pull in? Water. So I always tell you guys, any door you come up to, open slowly, assess the conditions. She's getting angry, huh? Listen to it pulling in air. All right. We saw how this fire started out. I didn't use any lighter fluid, any diesel, anything like that. So now I'm going to, and we'll play with it a little while because I don't want to completely put your prop out just yet. Look how hot it is. Look at the smoke, the fuel burning. Right?
1168 degrees.
1168. All right. So now I'm going to strategically and tactfully do what it is that we should do. All right. So I'll get here. I'll control the door. It's sucking in steam, right? I'm not worried about the fire up top. It's just smoke burning. Steam conversion, right?
What's the color of the smoke, guys?
White. A little bit of brown.
You've got to be patient. Don't blow that door open too soon. Let it do its job. Now, any door, we slowly open, stay low, apply water, shut.
Applying water in a straight stream, right? Not a fog pattern.
Straight stream. Straight stream. Stay low, get high, steam conversion, shut.
Where are you spraying it? In the top of the ceiling or?
Yes, sir.
Swing it in from the bottom. but it
Wet
goes
everything.
Up to the back top. So,
To cool up at an angle.
and then come in low, but you go to the back corner of the wall. That's what you want to do.
Big difference,
In and out, yeah.
right? Very big difference. What stage is our fire in?
Okay.
Did I remove any fuel?
No.
Did I remove oxygen? By door control? Did I remove heat? By water application. All right. If you find that you're first on scene and nobody else has arrived yet, can you still effectively change that fire and what it's doing?
Yes.
From the exterior without ever having to enter the building. We should have on what? PPE and
SCBA.
SCBA. 2 in, 2 out rule, but you can still reset that fire and bring it down to be more manageable on a low manpower operating department by just tactfully doing the right things at the right time, reading those signs and symptoms. All right. So the box will build, starts the process, right? It's getting its oxygen, has its heat, has fuel. But would you rather combat that fire or the one that we had prior to?
This one. This one.
You definitely need more than this, right? Because it would be, you could do it, you just got to have more GPMs, right? More water. Big water, fast water, change your outcome. So we'll allow the box to build back up. We still have quite a bit of fuel still left in there. I'll add a little bit more.
And that right there is a good example of why you don't open your door before you're ready to attack.
Absolutely.
Because now it's already built back up to where it was and you weren't ready to attack.
She's hot.
Good velocity that smoke comes out, guys. A lot of pressure in there.
There's some roof. Or wall. Or both.
Put a little more fuel in there. So I'll allow that to build. Start the process back up. Can you see at the top of the box that ghosting fingerling, kind of like the flame making its way through smoke? Watch high. See how it kind of just slowly. You see really high at the box. Some of you guys may not be able to see it because you're a little farther back, but watch at the top of the box. See how it's just kind of floating? It's disconnecting from the actual fire, right? It's just traveling. Those are those early signs that you need to be looking for. If you're inside and you start seeing that come over, what should we do? How do we cool?
With water.
Do we just spray water at the ceiling?
No.
No, cool everything. Cool the walls. Cool the ceiling. Cool the floor. All right. And if you're still getting that, then you're not doing enough. You're not cooling enough. Maybe you're not putting enough water on the fire or water on whatever you're spraying, and maybe you need to start backing up. Okay. So all the stages that we saw, incipient stage growth, fully developed, and decay, not so much decay, a positive pressure fan will rapidly run that through that process, right? It won't be very slow. It'll be very, very progressed. You know, you take a leaf blower, put it on a campfire, stokes your fire, right? Let's see if we can do this partial. Now what happens is I'm betting that the box is probably out, but we have continuous fire up here and it's lighting our smoke. I could be wrong.
63.
Put that out. Let's see what we get. So the box was out, but all the smoke up top had what the box was lacking. It had oxygen. So it completed the tetrahedron.
Yeah.
Sustained combustion, but the box could not.
Get back on the.
Right?
Get it
So the fire that was on top of the box was almost like the candle
back
effect.
down.
It had vapor, it had smoke, it had heat, it had fuel, which is the smoke, and then the ignition, which was the flame that was already present. All right? Never gets old, right? So, oh, absolutely. So what we've been able to do is show you guys the progression through the stages. We've been able to show you flashover, what to look for. We've showed you backdraft conditions, what can happen in the event of a backdraft, how violent it is. And then also with the water application, I showed you how to change that, reset that fire. You can reset it from the exterior by simple, small techniques. Flow water, control the door, starve it down. If steam is in the air, it is displacing oxygen. It is sharing the room and the environment with the oxygen, right? So therefore, displaces it, causes your fire to not have enough, and draw it down. Also added with the smoke. Any questions?
Right now it's showing 1,095.
1,095. All right, so what do we say your face piece will fail at? What temperature?
500.
All right, so the older models are around 500 now. You may be able, the newer ones, you may be able to get them up to maybe 800. So you said we're at 1,000, 1,100 degrees.
Blow the horn 3 times on flaps.
Yeah, the gear that you're running and wearing in the event, and you're in that, it is failing you. It's going to start melting. It's going to start pretty much not doing what it's supposed to do. Therefore, you are in immediate danger. That's why it's very, very important to use those thermal imagers and get those readings at the ceiling and around you. PPE has vastly improved, like our building construction, which allows us to push deeper into homes, not feel that heat right away. We could last longer, but then that's also, what, a catch-22.
Gets us in more trouble.
Gets us in more trouble. If we're not staying on our toes and reading those signs and symptoms, we could find ourselves in a bad situation very quickly. And if we don't have a hose line or we get separated, now how much trouble are we in? All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same techniques. I'm going to cool the door, then I'll do a little bit of door control, reset the fire with water application from the exterior, allow my steam conversion to happen with a transitional tack, and then once I feel comfortable, I'll say, okay, I think it's good. I'll make the judgment call and we'll say we'll go in and start trying to do fire suppression. From there, I'll just use water application with the hose line and try to extinguish the fire, all right? So get there, I'll shut the door. Throw water all the way around the opening, even at the floor. Allow it to pull in as much water as you can. Flowing water. All right, I'll stay low. Shoot it in, that's fine. Keep cooling. Flow water, shut. All right, water, steam, shut. It may take you a couple times to get the fire to where you need it to be. there, we'll say, okay, I think we can make a good push. I'll open the door and start flowing water. Being high everywhere, flow water. All right? Do what our hose lines were meant to do. Combat BTUs with GPMs. Now I get it, I have a squirt bottle. I can only get so many GPMs, but I will continue this process until we get all the way to control time, right? And then we'll start overhaul. Everyone see that? All right, so that squirts. We'll move up to a larger diameter, more GPMs. And if we have a water supply, we can continue that process until the fire's out, right?
Tom, so you can show fire under control?
Yep, control time. And then we're good. Any questions?
What y'all think, guys?
Very good. Very good.
So, it explains a lot, does it not? I mean, it just shows what goes on in flashover props, shows what goes on the Class A props. All our props in one. Still need to go to the other props too, but it kind of explains, it gives you a chance to answer questions, to ask questions about what's going on.
From a safe distance, a
Right.
crawl, walk, run step, right? We spend lecture time in the classroom, then we're able to visually see it in a box, right? And then from there, we can move and transition into the run phase and maybe get into MFA prop or the flashover prop. Now you're in PPE, you're in the environment, and you can actually come see face to face with that stuff, but you'll know what to look for.
Did you see how effective it was? Just fighting from the outside, cooling it back down, and then running door control, and then fighting from the inside. You saw that, right? Yeah. That's what we're trying to tell you. Transitional attack. You know who came up with transitional attack back in the day? Like a modern fire attack, you hear it. Transitional attack, offensive to defensive, defensive to offensive attack. Who do you think came up with that? Who? I can't hear you.
Firefighter.
Transitional attack is not a new technique.
It was a fire chief.
California.
One California was the first fire chief in America. Who was that?
Benjamin Franklin.
Ben Franklin. That's who came up with this idea. Not us. We call it modern fire attack now. It's how I was taught how to fight fire back 30 years ago.
Well, they didn't have SCBAs, they didn't have PPE, so they could only reset the fire from the exterior until they could cool it down enough and try to eliminate the smoke, and they can go in and do mop up, overhaul, right?
It does work. And with the temperature difference of the modern versus legacy fires, you gotta cool it down so our gear doesn't fail us when we go interior. We're gonna have to go interior sooner or later, right? Whether it's to fight the fire or do overhaul, you're going interior. Simple as that. Okay? So let's get it cooled down as quick as we can. Go interior and do what? Put it out, go home, right? Simple as that. You know? So, anybody got any other questions with this? Right?
If we do ventilator structure, okay, where is the proper place to ventilate?
Over the fire.
So high, from a high vantage point?
Yes, high and right
Because
over the
fire likes to travel the path of least resistance. Alright? It goes places that it can go. It's not going to fight anything. That's why it slips through cracks and everywhere. It goes throughout the entire building. So when you introduce an opening to it, that's where it's going to go. So in the event that you have to ventilate, try to ventilate at a highest point. Whether it be a gable, whether it be the roof, right? So you can allow that stuff to go up and away from you, and hopefully it works out, and your conditions will improve, the visibility will be somewhat a little bit better, and you won't be met with some of those high temperatures because what? They're going up and out of the structure.
Now, let me ask you this: can we push fire with a fire hose?
Yes.
no.
What is fire?
Fire is a
Rapid.
Oxidation.
Okay.
Releasing heat and light.
with that, if we're applying water, we are doing what? So can we push fire?
No.
No. Now, can we move fire with ventilation?
Yes.
That's how we move fire. Okay? If we apply water, we cannot move fire. We cannot push fire with water. We can push fire or draw fire with ventilation in the wrong place. So you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Apply water. You're not gonna push it. If it's hot enough to off gas from a solid to a liquid to a gas, it's gonna do what? Ignite. If we cool it down below that stage, like he did, it's gonna do what? Smolder and go out. We're not gonna push fire with water. We're gonna pull fire with ventilation in the improper location. Does that make sense? If this side of the house is on fire, do we vent on the other side? No, it's going that way then, right? If the fire's over here, we put water over here, right? So, understand what I'm saying. Don't worry, you're not going to push fire with water. You're going to push fire with improper ventilation. Depending on where you vented at, or where the fire vented at. Does that make sense? We got a fire here where the bay door's open, guess where the vent's going? Out the bay door, right? Close that door. We're controlling our ventilation. Okay? Does that make sense? Don't be afraid to apply water. Okay? You apply water high in the fog pattern, it's going to disappear. You apply water high in the straight stream, it's going to do what? Steam out and encompass the whole room like Anthony did here. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Tighten the counters up a little bit sometimes. Sometimes there is need them wide, sometimes you need them narrow. Play with it a little bit. Like I said before, if about 45 seconds of fighting a fire, if it doesn't drastically change, you're doing something wrong. If you got a pattern like this, narrow it up. You got a pattern like this, widen it up. Or you're in the wrong spot.
So,
not enough water. You know?
So before we started, we said this was a bedroom.